Hey, what's going on, guys? Black Mamba here. Another roster review for Arcticredleg from Stroking Our Wookiee. He's running Jedi Knight Revan with Thrawn and Millennium Falcon. He's got a lot of Gear 12s. I've done his roster review already. I did a 36-minute review, but forgot the mic was off. So I'll just do it again. It's whatever. I have fun with these. First thing I'm going to say is that let's see. I'm gonna call. I guess I'll just coin it. Mamba limit on modding or Mamba recommendation is plus 10 speed secondaries minimum. They're not terribly hard to find. They're not easy to find, but they're mediocre. You'll find them every once in a while. Um, just recommendations on all characters except for Droideka that every mod should have a plus 10 speed secondary in it. That goes for a lot of your characters, as well as 6E mods. Well, I guess I'll just get into it. Start with the list. We'll go to Bounty Hunters. Uh, I highly recommend Django Lead. It's kind of become more and more uh, preferred, and it seems to be doing the job better. Your Django needs to be pretty fast. I would recommend plus 100 speed minimum on him. The crit damage is nice, but all you need for him is just this to be critical damage, and the rest doesn't need to be critical damage. Well, I mean, like the set wise, you want to have a speed set on him with crit chance. You have critical damage with crit chance. But yeah, I'd say this needs to be critical damage, and without being repetitive on speed secondaries, um, just for the whole video, just remember that plus 10 speed secondary is pretty much on every single mod suggestion. I'm not going to just keep repeating myself because I repeated myself a lot in your first video. Anyways, this needs to be potency so he can land his configuration, which prevents turn meter when he's in the lead. At the base of this, you can see burning cannot gain bonus turn meter. So the AI will open up with this, and if he's the fastest player on the court, sorry, I'm a basketball player. If he's the fastest character on the field, he will go first, inflict this, burning, and if Palp's going against him, Palpatine's whole team can't gain bonus turn meter. So critical damage is good, again, plus 10 speed. Potency here and protection here. Mainly I like protection here because his unique, he gains bonus turn meter. By the way, I'm just going to double check that I'm recording with mic on. Okay, we're good. Don't want to do the whole video again. Yes, and then the other big one is Boba Fett. He can be critical damage because he's a big hitter with crit damage here instead of crit chance, plus 10 speed. Potency is good for the ability block and dots, but I've also seen offense. Either one works. And protection here for also his unique gaining. If it's not required. Up to you. Losk, you want to be tenacious and speed. You want him to be at least plus 100 as well, if possible. With tenacity here and protection. The reason why you want tenacity is because a lot of people like to run JTR versus Bosk and Bounty Hunters. And if she can't land her mind trick, and that means he can't be dazed, can't be ability blocked, and then he can taunt still. Tenacity is just a big ordeal on him. So you want him to be pretty tenacious, doesn't have to be super high, but like 80%, 90% total, not additional, but total would be great. Plus 100 speed's great. And those three are the main bounty hunters. The other two can be filled with pretty much anybody. Looks like you're running Dengar, Greedo, or CAD. Um, Modding on them isn't too specific, but obviously more speed the better. I'd say probably plus 70 minimum with potency on Dengar and Cad Bane. Greedo, higher crit chance the better. More times he crits, more chances he has to keep on attacking for infinite amount of loops. Droids, first thing I'm going to mention is that the Grievous team is, in my opinion, one of the top 3 teams in the game, if not top 2, in fact, for PvP wise. It's the most frustrating team to full clear first attempt on defense. Only people I can see, or only teams I can see doing that consistently with all 5 staying alive are Darth Revan and Jedi Knight Revan, and even if so, it's still pretty iffy on situations. I would recommend, if you can, get him to gear 13. I know his gear level at 12 is pretty ridiculous. You do not need crit damage on him. I would highly recommend all 6 mods being health. His damage scales off health regardless how many times he crits. A lot of times I would highly recommend this being health arrow. I don't even bother anything else. Put health arrow, 10 speed secondary. This can be either health or crit damage. This can be, or this has to be health, which you have, and health. I'm trying not to repeat myself, but plus 10 speed secondaries. The next one here is B2. Highly recommend potency and tenacity. A lot of people just put potency on him, but tenacity is huge because when I'm going against some B2 and Grievous team, first zone I'm wanting to take out is B2. He gives the whole team turn meter. He is the turn meter train for the whole team, kind of like BB-8 for JTR. And when you take him out, the whole battle gets a lot easier, but a lot of people like to daze him, ability block him, stun him. The more times he can resist that, the better. Keep the team going. So you want him to have at least 100% tenacity, 100% potency. That's kind of where you want to get to at the point. And this could be protection, doesn't have to be speed. He doesn't rely on speed. He gets so many bonus turns from both this and this ability, both his uniques. This can be protection if you want. This needs to be potency, which you have, and protection here. And then the next here is Magna Guard. You want him to be just a freaking tank, honestly. Protection here, speed's not necessary. He'll go and counter regardless. He doesn't need to have an actual turn to taunt anymore. His most recent change allows him to taunt whenever he does anything. So when he counters, he'll be taunting. So he doesn't need to be speedy. Protection's great. Protection and protection. So all 4 of the outer right mods and bottom need to be protection. And then I would recommend 4 tenacity and 2 defense, or 4 defense and 2 tenacity, depending on what mods you have available. Speed's not huge. I mean, plus 40, plus 50, plus 60, whatever you want. Not that big of a deal. Just make him a tanky boy. B1 needs to be fast. I know a lot of people like modding him for offense, but he needs to be speedy with potency. It's really hard to do, but plus 120 speed is my recommendation. It's not doable for everybody, so I'd say like plus 100 speed if you can, and then potency, try to get that as high as possible. Yes, this needs to be potency, by the way, the cross, and then this needs to be offense, which you do have. But again, plus 10 speeds in all columns. And this, yes, keep speed. And then offense secondaries don't help, but it's hard to find mods that are absolutely perfect for B1. And then Droideka is the only character in the whole game that at least I'm aware of at the current moment that needs to have no speed additional and high offense. So you do have crit chance. As much as I love crit chance, he he skills up offense, not crit damage. I would probably give him 4 offense and 2 health or 2 tenacity or 2 defense because he will be you want him to survive because longer he survives, more times he can put a reconstructive revolution out, which makes him invulnerable. And while I'm at it, gray mods should probably be sold, or this one can be sliced. I remember looking at this one earlier, just because it's got the 46 offense flat. See if you can slice it 1 or 2 times to see if the offense rolls. And also, you might as well upgrade your level 1 mods to 12 just to see what they do. This one itself that I'm looking at, just go ahead and sell it. It has no speed. It's got tenacity. It's not going to work for Droideka. But like this one, yes, you want offense arrow instead of protection. But hypothetically, let's say that's it's offense. Go ahead and roll it to 12 to see what it shows. Um, because it's only 86k to get a mod from 1 to 12. Might as well just, I mean, 86k isn't terrible, just to see what rolls out. But yeah, you want offense arrow, offense here, offense here, offense here, and when and if you ever do 6 dot mod, do those 4 that I just suggested: the square, triangle, arrow, and cross on him first. And a rule of thumb for 6 dot modding is it should be a minimum of plus 15. That's even low, but minimum, absolute bare minimum, plus 15 speed to 6 dot mod anything. Anything else is just, I don't know, to me it seems like a waste. In another situation, Droideka is the only exception to 6 dot mod that doesn't have speed. For example, let's say you slice this and the offense of 41 goes to plus 112. I don't know. You can 6E that because it has 0 speed for Droideka and it's got a lot of flat offense. That would be a 6E mod. That's the Droideka's the only exception. All right. Sorry, I love Droideka. He's my favorite character in this game. FY. Thrawn should be your fastest Empire. I like seeing Thrawns of plus 130 or higher. I notice you don't have very many sets above 100. If that and Thrawn should be one of your roster's top 5 speedy characters. In fact, that should be everybody's top 5 speedacious or whatever character. He needs to be fast. Faster he goes, quicker he throws up. Gosh, can't tap it. Fracture. So just make him fast. Does not matter whatsoever what primaries are on the triangle or cross or circle. Just get him fast. Palpatine, you want some potency, protection, such, which I did see you had. You want this to be potency, which you have, again, but plus 10 speed, and protection and speed, which is what you have. And then, yes, you have the 4 speed, and you have the 2 potency, which is exactly what you should have. This is the perfect mod, six mods you should have as a set. Just add some speed to him. Plus 80 is a good goal for him to be at. I'll go to first order here. So I did see that your Kylo Ren Unmasked was gear 8. He's the bread and butter for the first order, at least until the next movie. He should be in the leader slot with a Zeta on the leadership. Don't know how many Zetas you have lying around, but that's a good leadership for a Grand Arena team. His unique is not required, although it is good, but you can hold off on that. The leadership is huge. It takes a mediocre team to a pretty well working team, especially if you want to save them for offense. They absolutely annihilate Karth teams. This guy needs to be your fastest. You do not have him on it for speed at all, and I recommend of the first order characters, he should be your fastest. He's the turn meter train of the first order. Kylo Ren, um, there's certain ways you can mod him, but you want him to be second fastest as he also provides a bunch of turn meter for the rest of his allies. I know you have her geared, but you can drop her. She's actually not fantastic with First Order. I would do Kylo Ren, First Order Officer, Executioner, who I like to call Fox. Um, you could do TIE Pilot, but I mean, given your situation, I would actually do First Order Stormtrooper because with crew, Kylo Ren, Officer, Executioner, and Stormtrooper, that makes for the best First Order team. Um, if you can afford the gear, that is. If not, then you keep Pilot. He's pretty hard hitting sometimes. Um, but yeah. Oh, and all health needs to be 100% health mods. Don't worry about crit chance. He'll be critting with Kylo Ren's lead. But he scales off health. So you're gonna want crit damage here, but health primary on the square and health on the circle. Try to get him at plus 80, maybe plus 75 if you can. But full out health and then crit damage here. And again, I'm just gonna say it again, plus 10 speed secondaries on all mods. Galactic Republic, I noticed you do not have Padme, but I can tell you're gonna get her next time. Um, Given that Padme has a very high chance of being the next meta, just depends on what that fifth slot is, because the for sure four are Ahsoka Tano, Jedi Anakin, GK, and Padme. Fifth slot, some people use C-3PO, some use Zaris, some use Yoda, on and on. But the thing is I think there's going to be a fifth character coming to the game. Could be announced this week on the road ahead. Who knows? But yes, those four plus Padme. I don't know how many Zetas you have, but Zeta recommendations. I would save 2 for Padme. Both her lead and unique are fantastic. When you get her, mod her for health. Plus 60 speed is a good range. Ahsoka Tano offense. Um, Instead of health mods. Her Zeta is pretty awesome as well. You do not need her to be too fast, probably plus 70 speed, but offense set as well. Anakin doesn't need to be too fast, plus 80 is a good guess. 4-dot mods, by the way, you can't slice them, can't level them up, anything, just going to throw that out there. All 3-dot and 4-dot mods, might as well just get rid of them, especially if they don't have speed. But yeah, crit damage is great on him for that mod. You want potency on here and health on the circle. Health because protection up gain from Padme's lead. I'll talk about GK and Yoda with the Jedi. 3PO, definitely speed and potency, which I saw you did have on my initial review. Speed may be a little bit faster, but the potency is pretty good. Just because his unique gets so much more turn meter. Geonosians, I see you have very well gears. Obviously, you're working on Geonosian Brood Alpha. He's still new to the game, so gear sometimes takes a while. Oh, and get a lot of crit chance on Geonosian Soldier. More times he crits, more turn meter he gets. So he could just keep on going, calling in a bunch of assists and taking turns over and over again. And yeah, he just gets annoying sometimes. You're working towards them. If you do want to level these guys out, Colonel Stark needs to be pretty fast. Faster he goes, sooner he gets to throw out some turn meter for his friends. Yeah, faster he goes, better. But Imperial Troopers shouldn't be too big of a concern at the moment because there's a lot of other stuff. Jedi is huge. I see that they are your arena team, but they do have a lot of work to do, especially your big boy Jedi Revan. I know you have a modded for offense and crit chance, but this guy needs to be modded for pure speed. It's hard to say, but yes, please, it needs to go to 300 speed total, which is 100 gap for you. 290 bare minimum. This guy needs to be screaming fast. He does get a lot from his leadership, but faster he goes, the better your team will do all around. That's just for everything. Bastila, she's pretty tanky. Faster she goes, more she gets to give to the team and dispel and stuff. Um, I mean, plus 90 is decent, but and she's a decently slow character base speed wise, but speed never hurts. Jolie mod for pure health, which you do have, but he does not need the crit damage. This can easily go to somebody else. It has the plus 10 speed bare minimum, the Mamba approval. Guess, I just coined the Mamba approval. Anyways, crit damage is not necessary on Jolie. This needs to be a health mod. This needs to be health as well. And this needs to be health as well. Again, 10 speed, great. But the reason for health is because a lot of the stuff he does, a lot of his allies recover max health or recover stuff based off Jolie's max health. That's a big difference. GK needs to be pretty tanky. A lot of people, you do have a protection arrow, but try to get plus 10, plus 15 speed if possible on the secondary. Not a huge ordeal, but I like the protection arrow. Again, try to get plus 10, but you got the right idea on protection. This needs to be protection, by the way. I know tenacity is nice, but protection, you just want him to be just a fatty tank. You can get that up to you probably get up to 90k protection, and then try to get to plus 70, plus 80 speed secondary, which you could easily do because some of your mods don't have. Oh, there we go. That's a good mod. But some of your mods don't have any speed or very little, so it shouldn't be too hard to do. Yoda, you have modded for pure offense, but there isn't too much speed additional to him. He's a fast character just in general, but I would recommend at least bare minimum 70 additional speed. Doesn't hurt. He does get a lot from his basic on the turn meter, but let's say he's dazed, speed would help on that. This can be offense or crit damage, plus 10 speed. Secondaries for all of these. Offense is great, and protection is great here. Let's see. The rest are pretty good. Oh, Hoda. He should also be a top 10 speed character in your roster. I like to have mine, or just anybody needs to have a plus 120 minimum. I know it's not doable for everybody, but eventually get him pretty fast because, yeah, just faster Hoda the better. A lot of characters rely on speed. That's kind of a big bummer about this game is everything freaking revolves around speed. Man. Anyways, Night Sisters, yours are very well geared. So you have the hardest part done. Actually, okay, well, mods are the hardest part. But anyways, you have the hardest gear part done. Double Zeta. Perfect mod loadout. 4 offense and 2 potency. That's fantastic. Get a little bit more speed. Speed obviously doesn't hurt. Just kind of sound like a broken record at this point. This can be offense on the triangle with some speed. This can be offense or potency. Depends on what you're trying to accomplish. If you're trying to just do damage and have a speedy team, or if you're trying to land plague and protection here with speed, of course. She can have full crit damage or crit chance or offense, depends what you like. Most people run crit chance, crit damage because she's a physical damage dealer. And this should be crit damage with, that's okay, you can use that, but I'd prefer a full crit damage loadout with your crit chance. You could probably use this on like Yoda or somebody who uses offense with speed and crit damage. This could either be offense or potency, depends if you want to hit stuns and defense down, but offense is most of the time preferred. Just add some speed and protection with some speed as well. Daka should be full health, which you almost have. You do have a speed set. Some people run her very fast, but again, more health the better. People get up to 80,000 health with gear 13, which becomes an absolute pain. And this should be health, health, and health on the primaries with speed secondaries. Zombie should be one of your fastest zombie Night Sister characters, because the more time she goes, the more annoying she becomes, more time she taunts and dismantles the opponents or the opposing team. So faster she can go, the better. I like to aim for plus 100 speed is kind of my recommendation. 3-dot mods you can totally just get rid of, and same with gray dot mods that have no speed secondaries. Aim for protection here, and protection here, and try to get her speed up. Talia is used for raids with Night Sister teams, and Night Sister Spirit is used for PvP. You want her to be pretty dang fast as well as high offensive. She hits like a freaking truck. I know you probably just have filler mods on her for now, but after you remod your team, then you should be able to fill in the slots. You should be able to get Darth Revan next time. All you have to do is finish Juhani. So congrats to that. I wish you the best on getting her. No. Okay, I can come back to Old Republic if you have questions after you get Darth Revan. And if you want to fill your Old Republic team. Phoenix are mostly used for ships nowadays because of the Rebel meta and the Phantom and Ghost, as well as other stuff. I don't see them very often ever in PvP characters, but they have pretty great synergy. There's just so many counters nowadays. Your Rebels are fantastic. I assume you love your Rebels like I love my Sith. But you have Triple Zeta Luke with potency and crit damage, which I like. That's a good set on him with crit damage. Okay speed. I like to get him above 100 additional speed. Crit damage here is a good option. This can be potency or offense. I think more often than not, people use potency. You'd have to check with Dryzef on that one, because he's the CLS expert. And this just get some more speed secondaries. Not having even plus 5 speed, plus 10 speed hurts a lot on characters like CLS. Double Zeta Jin. I don't use Jin at all. I'm sure you did that for a reason, probably for Rancor back in the day. I never see it at my GP level because I started way later than you guys. So, anyways, double Zeta Chewie. He's a big offense damage dealer. I'd say bare minimum plus 80 speed. Crit damage. This needs to be crit damage with some speed, offense, or potency for the stuns, as he yells at us. But yeah, offense is probably preferred, and then some speed all around as well. Han Solo should be hitting like a truck as always, with crit damage and offense as you do. Good job. Okay, so you have crit damage and crit chance. Fantastic. He doesn't need to be all that fast. This actually is probably a decent set on him. I'd like to add plus 20 speed if you can to get to plus 82, plus 80. That's a decent ballpark range that you can achieve. Just farm mods like crazy, man. Get those speeds. They're everything in this game. unfortunately. Triple Zeta JTR. I hope you have, I think you do have the crit damage and potency. Okay, so you have crit damage and crit chance. I see a lot of people run crit damage and potency. Both can work, but this needs to be potency, which you do have. Just add some additional speed, as I am a broken record, of course. And this should be crit damage. I don't know why she's listed as a freaking tank. Beats me. She should just be an attacker because, yeah, she's no freaking tank. No idea why. BB-8 should be absolutely fast. Again, a top 10 character in speed, if you can. Plus 75 is pretty good in comparison to your mods. Just improve it a little bit more. Yeah, just focus on speed for him. That's pretty much what he needs to get the turn meter going for that team. Nest, I think I looked at. You have a mixture. You have like the in-between. You either want full out speed or full out tenacity, slowness. I think you're right in between. Yeah, so try and pick between if you want her to be a complete freaking speed or if you want her to be slow, which means like plus 20 or less speed, but your tenacity at like 100% or higher, which means this goes to tenacity with some tenacity mods. I personally run slowness with tenacity, but some people like to have her very speedy because she's one of the fastest base characters in the game. I do notice you have a geared Newt. Newt is very underrated and, in my opinion, strong. So you can mod him for some speed. His leadership gives percent speed, which is the newest additional. I don't even know what you would call it, but percent speed is new. So that's kind of an interesting character. But Separatists we went over, just these guys are extremely important in today's game. Just like Galactic Republic will be very important in about 2 months, maybe less. We'll know in the Road Ahead blog or post this week. Sith, my favorite faction. You have Treya, Nihilus, Scion. I don't know what other two you're using with the team. But once you unlock Darth Revan, you will have another Sith squadron. I highly recommend gearing Bastila Fallen and Sith Trooper and Sith Marauder. You can leave out Sith Assassin, Insidious, but and Dooku you can leave at gear 11 for now. But Bastila Fallen is kind of the backbone to all Darth Revan teams. They would not be Darth Revan teams without Bastila Fallen. If I saw a Darth Revan team without Fallen Bastila, it would be a cakewalk. So gear up Bastila Fallen. She is one of the most broken characters in this game. Make her pretty speedy. Sith Troopers, if it fantastic pre-taunt, does not rely on speed. Defense mods are great. And just make them very tanky with protection all around. And then the reason why I want, you don't have to do Marauder now, but eventually in the game you'll want to gear him up because he taking hits like a, yeah. 260k crits are nothing to mess around with. Sith Empire pretty much in that. Smuggler we talked about, pretty sure we got all those. But yeah, recommended Zetas. I think I mentioned Padme should be coming around very shortly. I recommend saving 2 for her. Fulfilling the Grievous team with the double Zeta Grievous. Zeta B1 first, then Grievous lead. Because I think you already have Grievous unique, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah. Yes, you do. So B1 Zeta should be your next for the Grievous team, then B2, then Grievous lead, and then Droideka. But Droideka is kind of a luxury. It's not required. And then Galactic Republic, save 2 for Padme, and then you're going to want one for Ahsoka Tano and Anakin. And if you have any more questions, let me know. This is a roster review, again, for Arcticredleg in Stroking Our Wookiee. And by the way, if you're going to use Han's Millennium Falcon, you should probably use the Rebel capital ship and have Phantom. Here, I'll let you. Where's freaking Rebel? Yeah, run Home 1 with Ghost, Han's Millennium Falcon, and Boss Ship, and reinforce with Phantom 2. And man, you just have. Wow, dude, you have Cassian Ewing and Bison's Ewing. Yeah, do a whole Rebel fleet, man. You've got it. You'd be so fantastic in the fleet meta. Yeah, that's what I would run if I were you. But yeah, this is a Arctic League review. Hope you liked it. Thanks again for watching.